good morning, and I'm sure several of you, good evening. We have more Link to the Past main tournament first round bracket matchup races right here, right now. We have Titos versus Topplife. We're going to play some 80 Keys Boots. This is their first game. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Raylan Tank here. How you doing, Raylan?
I am doing fine. Excited to see another probably very, very exciting race between two strong runners. 80 keys. Strategy pretty simple. Go everywhere and find everything.
Pretty much. That's what 80 keys is.
Yep. So let's see how our runners will fare with that.
And this is the 31 versus a 34 seed. We had Topplife went 5-1 in his group. However, through a tiebreaker in terms of the initial seeding is the number 2 seed out of that group. Titos 4-2 finished first in his group. So yeah, I mean it's a close matchup. Like the kind you like to see, the kind that are fun to see. And so far we've gotten a map in $20.
That's 80 keys for you. A lot of maps to be found. There are 28 of the red rupees in the item pool, so they all be showing up pretty regularly. Not too surprising.
Don't mind them this early, because it'll help you buy bombs if you don't get bombs in another way. And between a bush crab dropping 5s and a true pool with 5s, we should be able to get whatever we need in Kakariko. And we're not getting that $300 that's sitting on the lumberjack. Would be nice if we could have that right now, but by the time we'd be able to get that, which could very well be right before the Ganon fight, completely useless.
I mean, there's an off chance that we do have an Agate Tower Darkwood access in this mode still. It's very rare. Not rare compared to normal modes, but it can still happen. But even by that point, money's probably not a concern anymore.
Yeah, actually those flippers make it a concern early, potentially, because early flippers means you want to do Zora early, and that $300 would help us, but not in time for it to be useful again, yeah.
Yeah, they sure would help. We also do need 100 rupees for the bottle vendor, so early on money is definitely something you kinda are looking for.
I think we're gonna get this. Yeah, we're gonna get this free bomb here on the Bonk Rock. I'm not sure why Titos entered the fortune teller shop.
To get a second.
Oh, to get another one to reset things. That makes sense. They're both doing it. So you get 2 bombs. One for you have 1 bomb for the well and 1 bomb for the
Blind Hideout.
Blind Hideout. Thank you.
Yeah. Not getting a second here bears the risk of having to double dip one of those to you, like. So you most of the time want to grab 2. Like you can play for finding a bomb in those 9 chests that you get access to with just 1, but this being 80 keys, and all the maps and compasses also being shuffled out there, all the keys being shuffled out there, like it's not that easy to find bombs early on. So you
it's not as they don't kind of just show up in the way they were kind of used to.
Yeah, so it's probably just way safer to take this trip into the house for a bit, have that consistent second bomb there, and for a chicken hut you can just buy the bombs most of the time if you need to. So like, you could go for a third, but that will take you another trip, which by that point might be a little bit slow.
Ooh, flute. Okay, so we got the really nice things to have when we're in Kakariko. We got a flute to activate and a bottle to turn into the sick kid. Those things that sometimes you'll see runners try and get before they come here. They're right here. Unfortunately, we did get a bomb somewhere. I missed it, but Titos has 3 bombs in his inventory, so we'll be able to do the rest of the stuff here. Gonna get a little tricky going into. Let's see. If we don't get more money, we don't really have the weapons to do mini Moldorm Cave, so might have to buy more bombs, get more money, do something.
Yeah. The 3 bombs in the very last chest of the well were definitely nice to get. Saved us some trouble here. We do have the flute, so we can just do some stuff without worrying too much about losing time. Topplife remembering to activate it, that's certainly something you should do, because if you don't, you cannot really use the flute. It's very easy to forget if you get it so early.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Okay, what does Sick Kid have? Money. Okay, we're almost up to enough to buy another bomb pack. That's good. And with the bush crab dropping 5s, we can easily get the last 10. It's a little bit of a time sink, but not terrible. Or we could just get a sword, and then Mini Moldorm Cave is just about using a sword instead of the bombs. It can be a little faster to use the bombs, but like, if you have a sword, you have a way to kill them, and that's the important thing.
Yep. Also, if we were to stumble across some magic, or this hammer, but yeah, if we were to stumble across some magic, we could have used the Ether Medallion we found already now with the sword.
Ether is actually, yeah, Ether is pretty good for Mini Moldorms, to be honest.
Yep.
If I had a little magic, I might just use it anyway. I'm not sure we're gonna get any magic before that, but.
Yep.
Oh also, gosh, we have the bat now.
Yeah. No magic to use, and unfortunately, no cane to fake powder.
I know, right? So yeah, we'll float back there at some point, but that bat is relevant. We got a small key to Skullwoods on the race game. Good to have one of those for routing purposes.
Oh,
or we could just, good call on Tito. I like this. You decide to use. We got our bottle. It had green. Money in the long run probably not going to be an issue. Certainly you don't need that right away. Going ahead and using it to go ahead and do this magic bat check right now.
Yeah. I'm not that fond of the decision. We do have the flute, so we wouldn't really lose anything leaving that behind for now too much.
Yeah, that's true.
So there was no reason to do it immediately, but it's a moon power, so yeah, Tito's getting rewarded.
I can't do anything with it yet because we don't have any sort of Dark World access, but Topplife is going to need to get that. Could use the bottle like Titos did. Could also do the front of escape, get the magic from the uncle chests, or not, the uncle pots. That would give you enough to do the powder.
Maybe get a lucky magic drop here off of one of the Mini Moldorms. That's always a option. Or just using
Topplife,
it to
yeah,
use
he's going to use Ether. Yep.
Sure.
Ooh, nice Master Sword.
Master Sword. While Uncle has a key to Ganon's tower.
If we start getting a lamp and some Castle Tower small keys, I'll start getting a little suspicious of our Dark World access. In AD keys, having to go AGA for your Dark World access isn't a terrible thing. And as a commentator and a viewer, I kind of prefer seats like that because the end of the race, if you're doing AGA 1 last, there's a whole lot of not a lot going on other than usually good execution, but. Kind of nice to have a reason to do it other than the game says you have to kill all the things.
Getting early Dark World access through Agar is certainly not the worst thing that can happen in this mode here, but just the access to Castle Tower in itself can be sometimes be really valuable, because with the 2 small key shuffle, there are no 2 chests that contain items in there. So with the Master Sword, Topplife has 1 more check available in the castle than Titos currently has. And that can be relevant because that first chest is in logic with that Master Sword.
I think this is our first look at Ice Rod Cave. Just arrows. And yeah, Tito's doing all this castle stuff right now, which is not in logic until these last 2 chests, not in logic without the Hyrule Castle small key. Not something most players worry about in this mode, because we will get a glove, we will get to do back of escape. It's not gonna, not likely gonna hurt you. But Topplife, like you said, is gonna have that Master Sword when he goes and does that, and we'll have the extra check. Nice job keeping that water walk to do the man under the bridge. We do have flippers, so this is in logic. It is faster, though, to set up a water walk, but you will lose said water walk if you run into the shallows.
Yeah.
Fortunately, no money for Zora, so maybe he isn't going to go to the waterfall quite yet.
Yeah, there's no big reason to, like, we do have the flute, so, like, we can go there at any point. Spotting a big key on Desert Ledge, while doing Dina now. No, good info. Get another out of the way check. Could be some money, could be something, like maybe a glove for Dogwood access. Looks like Titos heading over to Eastern. Check out Saha. Just 5 rupees over to Dina. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate.
Walking out.
Yeah, I thought this would have been a save quit point, but I guess he's got other ideas. Green pendant pod.
I mean, we do have the flute, so like it's not terrible. 7 quid is still kind of low. Oh, there's money.
Yeah, not quite enough, but we're getting closer. Toplife's gonna go ahead and rescue the old man. Not a whole lot in logic up here on the mountain, because no lamp for this check, and we can't use it. Don't have a mirror or hook shot to get to more stuff. But I'm a big fan of just getting this done when you can. And there is a check up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Get to the start point here on the mountain, and like I have seen plenty of seeds with either mirror or hookshot just sitting there in spec rock and taunting you for not going up here. Just turning on the old man though.
You can do it anytime he wants.
Yep. Now we're getting a look at Waterfall Ferry. Maybe scout Zora Ledge. I mean, we can get the items, so we probably would at this point. Can also refill our bottle.
See if we get anything good. Shield.
Let's see.
Fire Rod's good though. Fire Rod is really good.
And I mean, we haven't seen if it's a gold B, which would be 100 rupees if we so desire.
Not even to check the ledge. That's interesting.
Yeah, probably wanting to wait for money. Still has the castle left. Still has the whole eastern area.
Alright, we saw these checks already from the other runners. So not a whole lot new here.
Nope. First new check to come across here would probably be Castle Tower first chest if Topplife decides to go there. Or Titos maybe heading to Eastern or to the mountain after this. We'll not be getting enough money for Zora, unfortunately.
And Toplife's gonna go ahead and do this Castle Tower check first.
Yeah, I mean, the second one would require one Castle Tower small key and the lamp, so it's not that likely to turn up this early. I can kinda get behind this.
With the Fire Rod, these are very quick kills.
Yep. Also, like you mentioned earlier, the way to sell the cell also not in logic without Hyrule small key. So, just RPs.
Yep, don't have to worry about that right now. And unfortunately, we can't even Death Warp out of this. We do have to walk out, but Death Warping would probably be just as slow, so it really doesn't matter.
Depends. We're still on green here. Green Bear 3 hearts, so Death Warp wouldn't be probably too terrible with blue guards. But,
it's just such a short walk out, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, where's Titos going next? Where are you going? I mean, our densest area right now is Eastern Palace. I don't think either one of them's gonna get there anytime soon, though.
The problem with the Eastern is, especially in Tito's case, we don't have the glove yet, so we can just simply cannot just simply go up the right side.
Yep.
So it's a very, very long
That is
triple.
not. I mean, there are many problems with Eastern Palace. That is definitely one of them. But also, it's it's 3 checks in logic. 1 out of logic we can't do. Without either the big key or the bow, it could end up being a triple dip, which nobody likes. Eastern is a terrible double. It's probably one of the, if not the worst, double dip dungeons in the game. You don't really want to double dip it or go into it early if you can avoid it.
Yeah, but it doesn't really look like we can at this point. It is still 3 items in logic, but it's not that little for the early game.
Yep.
So.
Alright, Titos is going to give us this check here that is in logic on the mountain that we didn't see from Topplife. See if it's anything.
Yep.
Mail on the spec rock. In spec rock we have a heart piece, so it's nothing. And of course Zora's in logic, we still don't quite have enough money for it.
Yep.
He does pretty close though. Could just get a few rupees from the bush crab and would have the money to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately that one though, that would require a glove, and that 50 rupee kayak also requires a glove.
Yeah, the rupee farm spot, the really good rupee farm spot. Yeah, you gotta have a glove. So I would seek out the bush crab on this next screen and grab 20 bucks from him.
That's what the Titos needs. Get 10 extra for the measures.
There's that 300 bucks for Topplife in Saha's closet, so he's similarly close to a Zora play now.
Yeah. Just need 5 rupees, and is going towards Easter now. Being advantage of getting to Saha so late is now that you have almost nothing else left, you are much more inclined to go into Eastern.
Yep. Just also getting a B for his trouble there. Fire Rod's good though.
Yep. There's money on the ledge, so if we had would have gone there earlier, we maybe could have saved our troubles a bit there. You never know that though. That's a cave.
Does
okay.
Nothing for us. So the answer is Eastern? I think.
Apparently. Like the cave, one more thing that would usually point you towards Castle Tower, but we've already seen there's nothing in there. That's the Hyrule Castle Small Key.
That's interesting. Well, that puts... Yeah, we can go all the way to the back now.
Yep.
With the Fire Rod plus the Hyrule Castle Small Key, all that stuff's in logic.
Absolutely.
A rare situation in this mode where stealing the key might have been beneficial. You could steal the key from the guard.
You could. Problem is though, with the glove you have so easy and so much faster exit to that.
Yeah.
Like it's almost never worth it.
Yeah, that's why I would. Yeah, exactly. This might be the rare seed where that would have been worth it, but yeah, I totally agree. It's definitely not a play that I'm thinking about making in an 80 key situation.
Like, you know that if the way to the cell is required that the Hyrule Castle Small Key has to show up, so there is not too much downside to go there. Like aside from the very obvious time loss that if you go to the front and you could have just dropped in from the back, that you lose like maybe a minute or so. Which in this mode is quite a big time loss.
Okay, so that Hyrule Castle Small Key is the relevant thing in Eastern Palace, amazingly enough.
Yep.
Let's see if Topplife immediately takes his well, we're gonna flute somewhere first.
I mean, starting on the mountain and fluting, maybe you could have started at 4. Getting money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this totally makes sense. It's gonna get the Zora money that way.
Yep.
Good call. And it's gonna go ahead and do the Zora play first.
Yeah.
So our runners will probably get over to back into the castle pretty close to one another.
Seems like it. Difference will be Topplife will have checked the first chest in Castle Tower already. Titos has a gold bee in a spot. That will be the main differences.
I was actually curious how much money that actually was, but on Topplife side we just see the green rupee, and because that might have been an actual 300, but I couldn't tell when we saw it on Tito's side.
Yeah, you cannot tell if you don't see the number.
Yep. And Topplife, maybe doesn't want to see the number because might be thinking, I could have done this earlier if it's 300.
I mean, I would argue if it's actually 300, then you might want to do because you're very low on money right now, and there's still some money that we would like to have in the Dark World.
And we know there's a 300 that we're never getting, so yeah, that makes sense. Hey, we're both heading to the castle.
Yeah. So again, Topplife pretty much has one check over Titos here at this point, which is not likely to become. Well, it is becoming relevant because Titos is checking that right now.
I feel like with the Tower Castle small key being a little bit more relevant than the access into Aga Tower, I would have done that first. On the other hand, you don't have an easy death warp in the back of the escape because the rats don't do any damage. So it's a little more efficient to do this first.
I mean, sure, you can still set up Death Warp on the snakes somewhat. You have bombs and you're on green mail, so bomb Death Warp is definitely a good option. So yeah, I would have preferred just to just go straight back first and see from there. But I definitely can get behind it, especially if you get Master Sword and Cape early. You are very, very suspicious of that chest.
Absolutely.
Looks like that.
Topplife low on magic, and this is why I'm not a fan of Fire Rock putting this particular set of checks in logic, because you have to find the dark rooms and the torches. Like theoretically, if you do it the intended way, you just find all the torches in all the right places. You have to deal with that rat key or key rat. Topplife doing a very nice job of it though.
The torches aren't really that terrible.
There it is.
There's a glove.
Here's the glove.
They are pretty much in the corner of the rooms. Topplife just kind of got like unlucky there that the key red blocked the fire rod shot through the torch. So Topplife had to rely on sound and game knowledge to find that key instead of just being able to see where it was. Yeah, both runners are experienced enough to handle those situations.
Yes,
well.
Exactly.
And now we can go to Dark World.
Yep. We're going to start with Hype Cave on Toplife's side.
Pretty safe choice, and we immediately find our second glove.
That is funny. That is funny. Canis Samaria. That is quite the Hype Cave, and a small key to Turtle Rock. We need 3 of those to beat the dungeon. We need 4 of those for full logic and full clearability.
Wonder if Topplife is now taking that towards the left. Given that we do not have mids, we can go into Village of Outcast from the south. So
yeah, I like this. You're orphaning some mirror spots, which kind of sucks, but I still like going from, because of the mitts, I like being able to go this way. Without the mitts, you might save and quit and go Village of Outcast with the flute, or Kekrik with the flute, go into Village of Outcast that way. Also perfectly viable. With the small key to Skull Woods, we can full clear Skull Woods and get that prize. And maybe do that before... I mean, Thieves Town, you do the front 4. We don't have any keys for it, so...
See what Titos is deciding. Given that we are 100 rupees back from the thing game. Yeah, what I wanted to say just as Titos is going right, like, we have done Zora already, so, like, Catfish kind of becomes isolated. You never know when the red bombs actually become viable, so Hermit and Catfish can be some very easily orphan checks.
Okay, Topplife picking up the Smith. That's an interesting choice. I think the logic here is you don't know when the mirror is going to show up. I can grab the Smith now, save and quit, turn him in, and go into Village of Outcast from the Flute 3 area. And, you know...
If you catch the dog here.
Yeah. If you're in a situation where mirrorless Smiths is going to become a thing, splitting it up, because he's going to turn the Smith. He's not doing Purple Chest anytime soon. It makes it a less bad play for Purple Chest later if we have to do that without the mirror as well. Or a less annoying play, I should say. It wouldn't be a bad play, necessarily.
Yeah. We got another Skullwood key from the...
That's a lot of money back, Smiths.
from the pyramid. So we actually have 2 of the 3 required to put Morphin Logic already.
Yeah, I mean, I would just do it. It's a clearable first.
Yeah.
Top left's gonna buy some potions. I think that's a good idea. You're doing Moth on... This is a pretty low % Moth fight. Fire Rod is a really nice weapon to use in there. Sword Beams do actually do damage. You just gotta be a little careful because, you know, sometimes you want to use them as a ranged weapon, but they don't do a lot of damage. I'm a big fan of honestly, I'm a big fan of the Fire Rod fight. I mean, can go ahead and do King's Tomb here.
Probably most runners prefer the hammer fight simply because it does more damage, and if you are proficient at it, Skullwood's biggie.
That's interesting. Toplife's not... If there's something in that Skullwood's big chest, that could be significant, because even when Toplife gets that Skullwood's big key, I don't see him coming back here anytime soon.
Probably not, unless we find both Thiefstone keys, or maybe the mirror on all crowd.
Yeah, to bring up to your point about the hammer fight, if you have red mail or even blue mail or enough hearts, just getting in there with that hammer can be really quick, but it's also really dangerous. So you're on green mail, you're 6 hearts. It's a dangerous fight.
I mean, it will be a dangerous fight regardless, and it will become more dangerous the longer the fight takes. And taking the hammer is the strongest weapon you have, so it's potentially the fastest fight you can do. So maybe actually mitigating some risk. Also, the Fire Rod, while nice to use, you need 8 hits to finish the moth with that, and
by 8 hits
is a concern, and you still can hit the moth into the spikes with the Fire Rod, negating your hits. So, like,
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like 8 hits. By 8 hits, we mean 8 hits where it doesn't also hit spikes, right?
Yeah.
Or we can just get a tempered sword in Skullwoods, and now we just use a tempered sword.
Sure, why not?
Even better. Okay, we do want to grab this key. Actually, we have to grab that key.
Yep. But I don't believe there was something of importance in this little pictures.
There was. I think it was a heart piece. Yeah. So the only risk for Topplife is he could lose time. If we're looking for something later on, he might check it. He's not going back there anytime soon, though.
Quick to point something on that what's brought up in chat. You sure can spin with the tempered sword into the moth fight. You definitely don't want to do that because it don't do damage.
Big bad thing to do. Do not ever spin with your tempered sword, or your gold sword for that matter. They did patch out that they did do because gold sword swings in vanilla does not do damage to moth. They did patch that, but they did not patch the spins. So don't spin. Just don't. PSA.
I mean, if you have Master Sword, sure, spin away all you want.
That's
totally fine. That it does tempered sword damage. But yeah, don't spin with the tempered sword.
Yeah, you can spin with Master, you can spin with Fighter. There's a lot of situations, like in the Cold Stare fight, I prefer the spins over to the hammer, but on the Moth fight, I prefer the hammer to the spins, because just trying to set up a spin with a Master Sword is annoying, because between the spikes all everywhere and the conveyor floor.
Yeah. On the cold step fight, you really want to be more about safety, and having the hitbox of the Master Sword spin is just so much easier to use.
Alright, there we go. We're going to do a little bit of Fire Rod, a little bit of Sword Swings. The Fire Rod also will help get Moth off the spikes sometimes, even if it doesn't actually do a damage. Topplife finishing off the fight first. He goes down to 1 heart. Okay, we're fine. I was gonna say, I don't think he bought a potion yet, but this is fine. We get a red pendant.
Which is an interesting proposition, although we did find out that Ford is the green pendant. Yeah, early or pretty early access to a pendant can always be interesting regarding the pedestal in this mode. Since you do have to do all dungeons anyway, like it's not a big concern. But like if you get all required stuff for pendants early, like that can be a telling point that in some cases, like I want to say one of my tournament 80 keys matches that actually mits on pedestal.
You know, I always think in 80 keys, give me a ped seed, right? Because if there's something on pedestal, and let me be clear, there are 3 items I don't want to see on pedestal. Either Castle Tower Small or the GT Big. But in general, give me that pedestal seed, because if ped is required for any other item, then that means ped is required to get my 7 crystals, and that means I can guarantee I'm not searching GT for something to finish my pendants.
Except, not for finished pendants. You're not searching GT except for Castle Tower Small keys in this case, most likely. So, like, it's not always, like, the best situation anyway, because it just opens up that very scenario.
Yep. Yeah, Castle Tower Small keys being in GT is just a thing that can always happen. You know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of the worst. And the GT Big Key, you know, having to search for that too. And that's why those items on the pedestal, not so good. Not so useful. We're back on the mountain. This could be Spike Cave, because I don't think we have anything else over here.
There's just Spike Cave. Which, I mean, we did get a bottle and we did get the cape, and the cape was apparently not meant for Castle Tower.
I mean, it's in logic. It's often hard to route in.
Yep.
Big key to desert. Okay, we have no access to desert right now, but good to have that now. It's just a compass.
To Maya, which is logically required to get the dungeon prize.
Yeah, in 80 keys, the map compass requirement is pretty irrelevant, because you're gonna do the dungeon anyway. You know, in when it's not 80, I do like to use the maps and compasses to inform what I'm going to do in a pendant dungeon. I don't care about them for crystal dungeons, because again, you're just going to do them anyway.
There is some slight nuance in situations where knowing which dungeons you're intended to finish early can be relevant to maybe rule out some checks. Especially if you see like a map or compass on Lumberjack, that is probably the biggest thing, because if there's a map or compass of a crystal on there and you can identify that, then you can know that your Castle Tower keys will not be in GT, which can be huge.
That's a really good point.
That is also very, very much information that you have to keep track of, because there's both the Hyrule Castle and the Ganon's Tower map, and there's the Ganon's Tower compass that can be found, and then you need to keep track of which pendant maps and compasses you found. So, a very fringe case scenario, but it can hold potentially some very valuable information.
Alright, Toplife's gonna go ahead and grab this purple chest, which is a lot less bad because he's already turned into Smith.
Yep.
I mean, this is how you do a mirrorless Smith chain. Topplife doing exactly what you should do if you're going to do it. Titos might just never get to this, or might wait until after he has a mirror, or try to wait until after he has a mirror. So this is significant if this is something good. If it's not, then, you know. Okay, that's something good. That is huge.
I would say that is something good, because that can now very, very likely to lead to our mirror, since now the entire mountain is open.
I know, we have like the entire mountain is now open to us, except that blue mail that's sitting on top of Speck Rock. And we can find out the Turtle Rock entry, you know, because we're gonna do dark, we're gonna do light,
We
we're
could
gonna
go
do Hera.
into Turtle Rock.
Maybe?
If it's either.
Yeah, I imagine Topplife will do. Oh, he's gonna go straight to Dark World. Ooh, okay, that's spicy. If he doesn't get a mirror, he won't be able to do all the light roll checks. He'll have to do a separate save and quit for them, and that might be.
Yeah, maybe just realized that.
Yeah.
With that slight.
I mean, we've all done that.
And I mean, if Topplife now does find a mirror here in Super Bunny Cave, Topplife looks like a genius.
Yeah,
or
in Hookshot Cave. Yeah, you got all Hookshot Cave.
So, like, it's not terrible. You can scout the TR portal this way.
Bow is good.
Bow. And Titos prepping for that mirrorless Smith chain here too, doing hammer packs and probably grabbing the Smith after. But I don't see Titos going straight for purple chest after this. And,
no, there's a few other things. Okay, yeah, so we need a Quake. See if Hookshot Cave has anything.
Now, if Quake is exactly in here, and Topplife then goes back to Lightworld Mountain and mirrors and TR, Topplife again will look like a genius. Because that would be what was required of the seed. But
small.
Just a pot small. And a lamp. Okay. Sure.
I mean, with the fire rod in hand, the lamp is only really relevant, logically speaking. These runners are perfectly capable of doing dark rooms if need be. But still, you know, it does speed those dark rooms up a little bit. Nice to have.
Yeah, especially for pod. It will be very, very nice if we go there soon to make it a bit faster. Like, by no means necessary, as I said, but faster is good.
Faster is indeed good, yeah. Alright, we're gonna get our first look at Paradox Cave. Heart, 20 rupees. I imagine Topplife will not finish because we don't have the big key or the small key, but we'll do Hera with the Hera pot, get the items that are available.
Yeah. I mean, the first two chests in Hera are absolutely in logic, so there's not much reason to just leave them behind right now. Well, that's the Thieves Town big key. Minor small.
Yeah. I wouldn't be thrilled to see the Thieves Town big key before the Thieves Town small key. I don't see Topplife going straight back to Thieves Town anytime soon. Probably try and delay it a little bit, but at some point he might have to just say, there's 3 items, 1 in logic, let's go do it. Without the small key, we can't get the big chest.
I mean,
you and I have seen races decided by a late Thieves Town big chest.
Absolutely. You definitely try and delay Thieves Town.
We're not going to do Hera.
I mean, just do Spy Cave first. Like, you would have to come back for this anyway, so either way you're doing some long walking. And if this is Hera big key specifically, this could be very bad if you do it after. Titos on the other hand,
into ice. That's really interesting.
I mean, we do have the cane, we do have the hammer, and the same thing we said about Thieves Town big chest.
Yep.
This can be said about ice big chest, but
absolutely.
Like, you know, there's still 7 items aside from that you can get along here, and it's like just bad if it's really dead ice palace big chest, which isn't always happening. And we don't know yet if this is a pendant, then the big key might be very, very late anyway and not relevant.
Also true.
So, like, you will see a lot of runners. Maybe not rush Ice Palace when they can almost full clear it, but certainly do it earlier than, like, say, double dipping dungeons like Pod.
Yeah, no, and Pod is, Pod gets double, triple, quadruple dip because of all the key requirements. Titos doesn't have Thieves Town available, having not found that hook shot yet. And since he didn't route the Smiths in the way that Topplife did, that purple chest is very inconvenient for him. So I don't blame him for wanting to go for 7 items in Ice Palace instead of going for a purple chest.
The probably bigger problem that I can see is that Titos is likelier to go into Pod before getting that hook shot to you, which certainly will hurt without a bow and without at least the other Pod small key that Topplife just got here out of Era. Or on the
two Pod small keys gets you a ton of checks if you want to use them in that way.
On the other hand, though, Titos does pull out Quake out of Ice and has now access to TR once going up the mountain.
He doesn't know it, but he's going to need that. However, Toplife's not going to miss that Quake, so no worries there.
And also, our tracker Nervendeutsch pointing out that Titos can now go into Mire apparently, which is Quake. And there's the Ice Rod, so yeah, TR gets more and more interesting for Titos. Still missing a big key and at least one more small key. But I've
when
also
he goes
had
to the mountain,
enough...
When he finally gets that mountain access, gets that hook shot, I would not be surprised to see him go deep into Turtle Rock with those 2 small keys.
And if you get the big key especially, like, it wouldn't certainly wouldn't be the first time there's just the TR key and TR, just like there's always a Pod key and Pod.
Yep.
Like, these are just key sanity things that happen all too regularly.
Alright, Crystal for Topplife in Hera. I don't think we got anything relevant. I might have gotten a key or something. We didn't get really anything relevant here. Nothing more he can do on the mountain right now.
Nope.
Oh, he's not scouted this. He didn't do it earlier. He's gonna find out it's just a piece of heart and not anything to worry about and feel relieved that it wasn't something he missed important earlier.
And is now gonna go to Spike Cave.
Yep. Right, it was Titos that did Spike Cave, not Topplife, so. This routing makes a little more sense this way. It's kind of the old, do you do Spike Cave or do you do Spiral Cave? And this way he was able to route both of them in.
Yep.
Do some fire rod shot duping with the sword beams. If you do it right, you can get it down to 4 fire rod shots. I don't know if he had full magic, so he might have had to do that. Basically, if you time it properly, nice magic refill afterwards. But yeah, if you time it properly, your fire rod shots and your sword beams will do fire rod damage, and it is a pendant, interestingly enough. So yeah, if the Ice Palace big key was just in GT, then the big chest is probably going to be irrelevant as long as it's not a Castle Tower small key.
And notably, we did get the hook shot, so the Quake medallion is absolutely in logic.
Yep.
Like, Titos doesn't know that, but...
Yeah, Titos doesn't know that, but yeah, that's exactly true. Topplife gonna head over to Misery Mire now. This could be purple chest for Titos right now. I'm not sure what else he has over here to check. It is Quake for Mire, so a double Quake today.
I mean, like, Titos doesn't really have much else left. There's Pod, but with only 1 small key and no bow. Like, it's also not very attractive.
Yeah, I totally agree. Alright, Topplife done with the Mire area, got the information he wants. He might head over to Pod, or he might head over to Ice Palace. I think either play, I think, would be very reasonable for him.
Just got in Bumper Ledge, because we did get the cave earlier. Yeah,
that cave feels like a red herring at this point. It showed up and didn't really need it to do anything with it yet.
I'm probably gonna go back to Discovered Big Chest now, freshly finding that Discovered Big Key. And
yeah, he didn't put it off as long as I thought he might, but yeah, this is fine. You do this here, you just get it over and done with. You don't have to think about it anymore, because it's kind of like a fetch quest.
Yeah, probably the reason of this is here, one, maybe check Bumper Ledge alongside it, and two, now that Topplife has the big key to Thieves Town, you can just do that.
You can.
And if you're worried about this guy with big chest, then you have now a reason to go back here and don't feel terrible. So probably heading into Thieves Town after this. And Titos
There's that
just
hook shot for
grabbing the
Titos.
hook shot. So yeah, will be interesting to see if that Quake medallion will become very, very relevant here. Now,
Oh,
apparently
interestingly, yeah, Titos is gonna go ahead and do Meyer before doing the mountain. It is 6 checks because we can't. Yeah, no big keys, so it's gonna be 6 checks.
Of which 2 are not even close to being logic. We have
Right.
found 1
No
Meyer
Meyer
small
smalls.
key.
And those Meyer smalls can be in GT because they aren't relevant to actually completing the dungeon. They're only relevant for those 2 checks.
Yeah.
He'll do the compass chest anyway because that's fairly quick. Might skip cutscene because that's not quick. Has no Meyer small, so can't do the traditional Misery Meyer Key Sandy routing, which says you go to the right side first.
Yeah, which I don't know if I really liked just going here right now. Now that the entire mountain just went.
Yeah.
That got available, so. Like, if you had the Meyer small key, sure, make the routing more efficient.
If you had the Meyer big key, then definitely. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. If you had the big key, sure, you can finish the dungeon. I want to say if it's
nice.
just in here, true. But yeah, the pod big key, nice to have. We'll see. And it will be interesting because if Topplife doesn't find the Meyer big key soon, then Topplife might go into pod of that bow without the big key, which might not be too terribly relevant until we find more pod keys, so that you can finish the dungeon in one trip. But
I think he's going to pod right now.
I'm not blaming him. It's always hard to find the balance between when to do ice without big key and when to dip pod with not that many small keys, because both dungeons have an amount of checks that are just in logic. So until you go to one or the other, you don't surely know which one it is. There's a third TR key that's also in logic.
Yeah, it's very relevant.
Like, slowly.
That makes TR totally doable for Titos when he goes up there. He's gonna have to orphan the lava chest, which is pretty common.
So yeah, I'm getting very suspicious of the TR. That's a big key. 2 TR, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Titos
now we
is
can
just
really
going
just do
straight
it.
there. Like,
Now
you
we
have
can
2
just do it.
medallions. Yeah, Titos doesn't know that he can get into there, but with 2 medallions, you just go there.
Well, plus you have all the mountain stuff as well. Like, there's a ton of checks. Like, this is a super dense set of checks. Now, if Topplife could find a Misery Meyer big key in pod in his checks, that will kind of even up that pod big key find plus the Turtle Rock stuff that Titos found.
Yeah, but if there's nothing here in pod and it's not looking great for it, yeah, this is looking quite good for Titos here in this perspective, because I'm very heavily suspecting, given that we have found the lamp too, that there's at least something on Laser Bridge. And by that point, like, Titos might have a very, very big advantage. And if Topplife is not able to single the Meyer, then yeah, this will be hard to make up at this point.
Yep. The scariest part of the TR dip, honestly, is the I mean, besides the obvious lava chest that he won't be able to do, won't be able to do Mimic Cave either unless the mirror decides to show up, which is always a little scary going into Turtle Rock here.
Yeah, it surely is, but at some point you cannot just... Oh, there's the mirror.
There's the mirror. Okay, that's good for Topplife. That's a relevant item that he's going to find, and he can actually do That's Swamp Palace for Topplife. So
Well, we don't have the small key yet, so
we don't have
can
the small
check
key.
the first
That's one
check.
check in
Sure.
Swamp Palace for Topplife. He's not doing that.
And like it wouldn't. Oh, Topplife has to be a bit careful here.
Grab that heart.
But yeah, it would certainly have been the first time it's a vanilla Swamp Palace small key and 80 keys. So
That just destroys people.
yeah,
But yes, that could happen.
But yeah, I don't see Topplife going there anytime soon.
Yeah, I think Ice Palace would come first.
Oh,
Back to
absolutely.
Thieves Town. You know, the dungeons you can clear.
Yeah, even more so given that we have already turned in the purple chest. Like the only reason we would have to go there is if we find book and can check Bombos tablet now and do K45 alongside it. But like that are single checks. Oh, big key to Hera.
Hera. Okay. Small key to this
To this
dungeon.
dungeon.
Yep. Pod
Classic.
key and pod. You're not going to spend that because you want to use it for Helmasaur. Now, obviously, Topplife doesn't have the big key. But... Okay, we are going to spend it because we're not going to save it for Helmasaur.
I mean, it is the third. Like, there's still 3 more out there.
Still 3 more
You
out
just
there,
need
yes.
1, and this allows you to don't leave behind this check. Still do the hammer jump over. Hopefully, don't get blasted by some fire in there because we're very low on hearts now. And yeah, it feels like very, very efficient to just clean out the back half of bot here as far as you can. And then just find 1 more key to have to...
Oh no!
Or just leave behind the darkness.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just going to cut his losses and not try and do that again. You know, in some sense that might work out for him because it's now 3 checks back there instead of just 1 with the big key.
Yeah, would have to come back there later anyway with the big key to check the big chest. It's a bit awkward because Toplife's also out of magic.
Okay,
So...
Mirror gives him desert. He can also do checkerboard cave.
Yeah. A desert finish will also restore Toplife's magic for free, basically, so not the worst thing to do.
Yeah, I like it. In this mode, we don't care so much about maps. We really just care about, you want to know what your pendants are, you want to know what your green pendant is. You'd like to know what your red crystals are. I know when I play Key Sandy modes, I like to check my menu after I get a crystal. Sometimes I don't remember to see if it's, but just to see if it's red. There's that big key. I'd forgotten about. Ooh, big key to ice. That's interesting. That is interesting because that will send Topplife. There's no reason not to go to Ice Palace now if you're Topplife. And to your point about the magic, you do desert here first still because at worst you get that magic refill at the end.
Yeah. Needs to grab a little bit of magic to be able to light the torches on the way to Lemma 2. But
there's some magic pots.
Here.
He's got a lamp, so he doesn't need a ton of it. Small key on the torch. Let's see what small key it is.
Here's a reminder.
Piece of heart. We don't have the small key to desert, so we can't get the 2 checks that are on the right side. Topplife smartly picking up some magic pots there that he knew.
Could have grabbed 1 more on the pot on the top of the room there. Oh no. Yeah, as you mentioned with the lamp, that one is all that I need. Like, a bit more magic could be nice for using the fire rod and the lamp fight, but it's not strictly necessary.
Very, very true.
Also some more magic that you can grab here. Second pot to the left.
And there's 1 more up here in this next room. Not this room. Actually, I have no idea what's in the pots in this room. But there's magic in one of the pots here too.
Yeah, the top right one. The bottom two have hearts. The left one should have arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Titos, unsurprisingly, going into TR and will be clearing it for all of one chest.
Yeah, we'll miss one chest and we'll miss Mimic Cave.
Yep.
We know now the mirror is not in here. Now, you might find TR small key in here, which would let him potentially grab that chest.
Would be interesting. I mean, you can death warp off of the laser bridge back to the entrance, so the mist mirror doesn't really hurt that much. In that case.
Another
There's
pod
another
small
pod key.
for Topplife, so there you go, free pod small. We don't have to worry about getting to Helmasaur.
But yeah, that pod key in Mire now will become interesting. When Topplife does go for that without the big key showing up.
Oh, there's
a D small.
D small, okay. Yeah, Toplife's gonna do Ice Palace, and we'll probably do Misery Mire after that. Maybe? I mean, he knows you could... Could go into TR as well? I don't know, we'll see.
TR was also here in Ice, right? No, that was in Mire.
Yeah, it was in Mire.
Okay. Without a TR beat, you are not really that inclined to try the mountain.
I think so. Yeah, because you've already cleared the rest of the mountain.
Yeah.
So I think the Mire play is going to be a little bit more likely.
Probably.
It's going to be really interesting to see what's in this Ice Palace big chest, because Titos couldn't get it.
Yeah. That is a relevant item, of which there's not really much left. And actually, I think in terms of item, we have everything we need. We're just missing keys.
Yep. Yeah, between the runners, yeah, that's right. We are missing. Let's see, what keys are we missing? Mire Big,
Swamp Small,
Eastern Big.
Eastern Big, GT Big, and
yes.
Both Castle Tower Small keys.
And of course, the bane of every AD keys runner, both Castle Tower Smalls. That's a lot of keys we need, but it is as you say, all just keys that we need. So I say that like it's easy to get those keys. The keys tend to be more like the ice rod than like because they don't open anything but the doors that they're meant for, especially the big keys, the doors in the chest in that case.
Like some keys are usually easier to get by than others because they lock much more than others, like the Swamp Small.
Yep.
But given that there's only one of them, that still is not really that easy to find sometimes. But yeah, if one of those required keys in that Ice Palace big chest, then yeah, it's looking very, very bleak for Titos here. That Ice Palace big chest is not irrelevant, then there's not really a problem. And there's the Swamp Small in TR.
Okay. Okay, big chest and ice, completely irrelevant. Titos will be fine for having skipped it.
Yep.
Next relevant check like that will be the Mimic Cave when Topplife gets to Turtle Rock.
Arguably, that one is maybe even worse than the Ice Palace big chest.
I think it's definitely worse. Unnecessary bombos. Big key to Swamp. That's not the one you're looking for. Not the big key you're looking for. Ganis Tower big key. That is a big key we're looking for.
Not the one you might wanted to see right now, but you take it. Definitely better now than much later.
Yes, absolutely.
And I mean, given that we know our pendants already, we also know that there's not really much in GT except for those
pesky Castle Tower Smalls.
Definitely nice to have the GT big key before that.
Ah, Topplife not using the sword beam strat. Didn't quite have enough magic to do the full shell, so had to use the potion. But that's what they're there for. And of course, the free half magic after the fight.
Titos playing a bit safe with the cape there in the second phase and get a fire shield as the reward for beating Trinix. So next on the list is probably going to be Thieves Town. That's full clearable for Titos.
Topplife's thinking about. Okay, he's gonna go to Meyer. This is good choice. We know. That'll get him a couple of important big keys.
We'll get Topplife on the track that Topplife needs to be.
Yeah, and I think Topplife might go ahead and go back and now. Okay, so you could go finish Pod. The argument for Pod would be you get 4 checks with that big key, and you get a dungeon cleared. Actually, it's 5 because that's the green pendant. So it's 5 checks out of that. The argument against it is you might want to hold off for that Eastern big key so you can try and pair them together, especially now that you have the mirror. I think I would just do Pod and hope the Eastern big key showed up there, but doing Turtle Rock first, which I think is his other option, is certainly a viable choice.
I probably would just go to TR of the reason that one is more in logic. The knowledge that Pod is a pendant is very relevant in this mode because the Helmer Saw fight requires all 6 Pod small keys, of which 2 of them can easily be in GT and thus not really relevant.
At this point 1, because there's 1 more here in Meyer. This is going to put Topplife at 5. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That 6 Pod small is in GT. Then most of what he's got left are all of what he has left are 6 key locked locations, and the best they could have is Castle Tower smalls. But Castle Tower smalls would be great finds.
It would be, but I would certainly try to delay them. Although, there's these vacancies.
Okay.
So I mean, I certainly can see it, given that you have 5 Pod keys going there now. It's not unlikely that the 6th is gonna show up, but I don't know. It feels, especially with the big key and the another TR small key that you're getting here, it feels just more likely that TR is the place where you should be. And as we see, then Thieves Town comes after as full clearable, leading to Eastern, and then you can just double. Then you can
do just the single play to get both of them, and that's like I said, that's the other argument for delaying Pod is can I get the Eastern big key so I can just do both at the same time. There's that. There's the last Pod small. Okay. Let's see if there's anything in this big chest that's relevant. Small key to... Okay, sorry. Topplife will have forced Pod small keys. I think I mixed up the Pod small key... the Turtle Rock small key that's in Misery Mire with the... Pod small key. Because they're both dungeons that are logically behind all their small keys. I'll go with that.
There's the Pod big key for Topplife at the very end here. So yeah, decision point for Topplife. You are 1 small key short of full clearing Pod at this point.
Yes.
So I would be more inclined to go to DR here, especially given that we have the mirror now.
And he agrees with you. And when I was giving my arguments for Pod, I was assuming 5 Pod small keys instead of 6. Instead of 4. And that's relevant.
I mean, you can technically full clear Pod with just 4 keys, but that requires you to go over the right side 3 times, which
Topplife he can't, and Topplife can't do that anymore. It's no longer an option. He's going to get his blue mail here, which is not insignificant. Gets to be my favorite Yoshi, Blue Yoshi. Oh, it's gonna also do this Hera check. Okay. This won't take very long with the Hera pot. This is
Yes, it still does take, it's like, what, 30, 40 seconds? It's not a particularly quick check. Like, it's definitely not as terrible as going back for a Orphan Big Chest.
Yes.
Another Orphan Big Chest, like Keystone or Ice, but it's still not the fastest check ever. Like, it's not straight up on the way, and it's just a logically required item.
So yeah, the argument for doing it, of course, is that it's here, it's on your path, it's reasonably on your path. If you're when are you gonna do it? When else are you gonna do it?
I mean, you could always try to do it before TP.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's true.
Of course, that's only if you can't get there.
All right, Titos in Eastern Palace. 2 new checks in this area. There's Topplife. We're only gonna get 1 new check in Turtle Rock. Big shield, okay, which has, with it says this is not an entrance mode. The big shield doesn't really do anything for us. Where are we going, Topplife? Oh, are we? Oh, was there something? Was there a key on the floating island?
Apparently.
Because he's going for it. There must be something he wants here.
I kind of blanked out on it. I mean, Toplife's going there, so there has to be a key on there.
Yes.
And Toplife does not have the Swamp Small Key yet, so you definitely have to go for all the small keys you can find. And even not, you don't have both Castle Tower small keys, so you cannot leave behind any small key.
Okay. Desert Palace small key? A 2-item fetch quest at this point.
Okay, you can probably do that when you finish Mire, unless the Mire big key is on the right side. At which point you still can do it when you finish Mire, but you have to go into Desert first.
You just won't know that you're finishing Mire.
Yeah.
Titos messing, not quite getting the quick kill, does salvage the fight though. I mean, it's Armos Knights. You're not gonna die in this fight. Worst case scenario, it's a little bit slower if you have to start using your sword. He has 1 arrow left.
Yeah.
Not really where you want to be late in that fight, but yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go to
nothing
pod
relevant.
because
he's gonna go into pod now.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see if maybe Titos is playing around with going over to the right side multiple times. I certainly won't assume so, but there's always a chance that you might worry about only having 4 keys right now.
Yeah, with
Titos.
Well, he's gonna get the 5th. He's gonna get a 5th pod small here.
Yeah, but you don't know that yet.
You don't know that.
I mean, you probably just always play towards that chance though, because it is so comparatively high.
Yeah, I mean, typically what you'll do is with the big key, you'll orphan the big key chest.
Yeah.
I imagine that's what he'll do.
That's the likeliest scenario, I agree.
There are very few situations where I think it's warranted to try and do pod on 4 small keys. And I think the mostly is if you see a pod small key on pet or something. Now, obviously that's not going to be the case here because pod's a pendant.
So Titos still does not have the mirror yet, although he will be getting it, so...
Yeah. So imagine Swamp is in his near future.
Yep, Titos. Not meddling with the right side, just gone straight through the middle, and will be rewarded.
I mean, he might just go do Helmosaur right now, and then do the back, come back in for the back.
I mean, that's probably something that Titos would probably planning on doing right now. The mirror
makes it less relevant. Like, I think with the mirror, I think either play is fine. Without the mirror, being able to save and quit out of the back of pod is very valuable.
with this routing, if you didn't have the mirror, then yeah, straight go to Helma, you get the free mirror, quote unquote. Would make it a bit awkward for the big key chest since you get the last small key in there. Because you then still had to that warp out.
Yep. Alright, Mimic Cave. This is our next relevant check.
Yep. And this Toplife's big chance to have a huge advantage here. The shovel, so hold your breath.
Shovel, not what you want to see there, but if it, we'll have to check that shovel and see if it's relevant.
Yeah. Hold out on that one, although we might have to hold out on that one for a while.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have some good things to do. Because you got with that Thief Sound small key, you go do the Thief small. Now
Topplife gets both Swamp Small and Swamp Big here.
Yes.
So I can definitely see Topplife going the Swamp first instead of Thief Down.
I could see it too. I would want to go Thief Town. I like to delay Swamp so I can delay the left side check choice. But like, not a big difference. Like you're gonna do both anyway, and left side is much more. As with any check in this mode, left side is going to be more likely to have something relevant because, well, every check in this mode is more with all the keys that you need. They're all going to have more likelihood to have something relevant. To answer chat, Smiths were done for a long time ago. Purple chest had our hook shot, so
yeah,
kind of locked a lot of things.
I mean, I guess that was not required to get the hook shot, the mirror, although it was logically probably given where the bow was.
Yep.
But T small on Helma.
Yeah, Titos is going to be able to turn in this green pendant right away, which is nice.
Yep. So, I mean, one argument for Thief Zone is the area is full cleared aside from that Thief Zone. So there's nothing you can find to make your Thief Zone more relevant.
Yep.
And all the checks are on the way in Thief Zone.
Yep.
So this is maybe the strongest argument in favor of Thief Zone. Like, nothing you can find will make that check any better at any point. But, like, as you mentioned, left side swap decision could potentially be something that is better to do later when you have more information about what you still need. And if Thief Zone were one of the red crystals, you can chain the red bomb after swamp much more easier than you can do after Thief Zone. There's Titos' fifth pot key, so now could just decide to go back and check the big key chest too. After the Hammer Jump and check Dark Maze, Mirror makes that very, very easy.
Alright, we're gonna get new checks here because Topplife was down to 2 hearts, failed the bomb jump, so took the damage from the bomb and also fell, and saved and quit out of it.
Yep.
Big key to Misery Mire. Okay. If
so
that were one of these other chests, that would be a real feels bad for Topplife. But since it's in the big chest, you had to go to Misery Mire to get the pod big key to come back and get the Mire big key.
Yeah, fun times. Force doubled at Mire.
And not irrelevant, the fact that there are 3 checks there. I could see somebody just saying, I'm not going to bother with the pod big chest because it's just 1 item, and he's already done Harmless Helllight, but with 3 items back there, I don't think he skips it when he gets back to pod.
Yeah. And Topplife going to Thief Zone. Definitely after talking all things through makes the most sense.
And yeah, chat pointing out we are now on a Castle Tower small key hunt.
Yep. Which, with GT fully available...
Yeah, it's a lot of places that Castle Tower small can be. Okay, Saha has nothing for us. All right, Tito's probably gonna do swamp now. Yep.
Yeah. You could go do desert if you
Desert
want
Mara
to
would be,
hedge
yeah.
your bets against potential red bomb, but given that Titos has GT entrance, although not completely logically yet without the desert small, you're not worrying too much about that, and like. Will be interesting because we do have access to GT now. There is a world where you can try play it a bit risky and skip left side. It's only 2 checks compared to 27 in GT.
Yep.
Still have mired boss and big chest. Still have desert boss from Titos' perspective. So there are still a lot more checks available, and I mean, Titos had to leave behind Mimic Cave already, so if that leads to a CT small, then there's no way you ever go back there anyway.
Yeah,
So it's not like Titos has full cleared and everything to this point, and it has not orphaned anything. So.
And there's a ton of mirror checks that nobody's done.
Yeah.
So like Topplife, one option he has is he could go and do Pod Eastern right now, and I think that would be a fine choice. He could also stay in the Dark World, hit those south mirror checks at the same time as he could get that dig spot as well, and take that into Swamp. So I think either one of these, he's got 2 good choices for him. It's kind of nice to have good choices instead of like how many times do you say like I have a whole bunch of really horrible choices right now because you have a bunch of one-offs all over the place. But
I mean, it's a bit hindsight saying it here, but I definitely would be interested in checking out that shovel because that is one check that is not guaranteed to be found by the other and can be potentially huge.
Yeah, I'd want to know what that shovel was too. Actually, I do want to know what that shovel is.
Yeah, so
but he might not be thinking that Titos went and did Turtle Rock without the shovel, so. But we'll see what he does now. Does he mirror and flute away, or does he stay in the Dark World?
That's our last TR King Swamp. Staying in the Dark World, so we are getting the K45 check. Because of K45, I definitely like this choice.
Yes.
It allows you to get your shovel checked on the way to Swamp, gets you a mirror check that is certainly not going to be checked very early given where the mirror is. And still routes you quite nicely into Swamp anyway. Or just
okay, he may not want to do Swamp yet, but he is going to do. Yeah, we're gonna see what's under this shovel. It is just a boomerang.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. I mean, yeah, Topplife has Pod Eastern to do, so sure, do that first. Can be another red crystal if you want to go that path.
Yeah, and Chad also pointing out, yeah, he had to go, that last TR small was in Swamp Palace. So logical double dip of TR to get your Swamp Palace small key, to go into Swamp to get your TR small.
Interestingly enough, the Swamp Small was, I think, only 2 small key locked in TR, not 3, because it was on the Crystal Roller Room.
Yeah, because that's right before the second to last key door.
Yeah. But doesn't really matter too much in logic for logic anyway, because for Tronics we will need all 4 regardless.
All right, we are taking the gamble. We are skipping left side.
Yep. I mean, absolutely understandably. I would probably be much more inclined to do so if I had already one Castle Tower small key. So, like, now there's 2 chances that you skipped a key on the left side Swamp. But I absolutely can understand the mindset of just trying to rush TT. Again, it's 27 checks up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wouldn't also be surprised if Titos is maybe just do you just straight out skip the rest of desert? You could.
Did he get this? Wait, has he gotten this? He doesn't have the small key, so you just do the boss, you know. the last Myers small key in the big chest. Cute.
Wow. Do you go over to the cutscene chest now because you know it's in logic? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's nothing.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like full clearing in 80 keys is such a weird mode because you know I often say that you can win matches by full clearing, but you're never going to win a tournament by full clearing. I'm not sure that's actually true in 80 keys. Like 80 keys is of all the modes that we play regularly, it is the most full clear friendly, if you will. Like full clearing is often gonna get you the things you need, and if you skip things, there's just so many things you need. But on the other hand, so far the skips that Titos have not come back to bite him yet. So and we don't know. Like if the castle tower smalls are just sitting there in GT, none of these other checks are relevant.
I mean, of the checks that Tito skipped, there aren't too many actually up until this point. Like there's the cutscene chest now. There's the ice palace big chest.
I would say cutscene is the only skip he's made that's like a true and left side swamp are the ones he's made that are I am deciding to skip this item. Ice Palace big chest was I'm gonna go there before I have the big key, and Mimic Cave I'm gonna go here, and also you know Lava Chest, which they both skipped. I'm gonna go here without through TR smalls.
I mean the lava chest skip is a given if you don't have the 4 keys, because like there have been races lost because the one racer had to find the 4th turtle rock small key and the other one didn't. So like being able to finish the dungeon, especially like TR, is just so much more valuable.
Yeah, you have to finish the dungeon. Okay, we are going to do the checks in desert that we can do.
I mean, it's still 2 quick checks, 3 quick checks, so understandable. Like, it's maybe a bit too much, and they are fast enough that you don't really want to leave them behind. Mm-hmm. Your opponent could have been here way earlier, and like if there's a CT small key here, if you only need to find 1 in GT, it's just so much better than when you have to find 2.
Yeah,
because,
so true.
Like if you find 1 in like render room or stuff, and you have the other one already, you can leave. If you don't, then you have to clear out GT anyway.
Alright, so so Titos is gonna be in a position to just go to GT after this desert. He can also do Pyramid Fairy, which I don't expect him to do. We have no idea what the red crystals are, by the way. I don't think anybody's checked.
And it doesn't really matter at this point because we can do Red Bomb because we have all of them.
Yep, exactly.
This scenario is one reason why not all runners are checking for red crystals, because most of the time either Red Bomb is not really relevant anyway, or you will just have red crystals. So like the most you get is maybe when you have like 5 crystals, also you get a quick menu check to see if there's 2 reds in there.
Yep. I do wish that the guy that sells you the red bomb would still tell you which dungeons had it. Because sometimes, maybe a little more so in cross keys than in 80 keys, but sometimes the logic is still relevant in terms of the red bomb. So otherwise, you don't have to. We just know we have it. We just know it's a check.
Topplife, eliminating some arrow damage with the sword beam, the fire rod strategy backwards, basically. Overriding arrow damage with the sword beam, which doesn't really do that much to red either. And 2 bosses defeated at almost the same time.
We'll see if Titos decides to do Mire or Swamp next. So Topplife, of course, doesn't know this, but he'd be better off checking and finding. Obviously, he has to find the item. If one of these Castle Tower small keys is in one of these spots that Titos has skipped, Topplife is going to be going to be better off checking those locations. If he just follows Titos into GT, I don't see him catching up unless the CT key is not there, or one of the CT keys is not there. It's kind of a weird position.
Yeah, it's basically just we know that Topplife, I want to say, has done cutscene chest already in Mire.
Yeah, he's done. He's got the 2 desert checks. He did the cutscene. It was nothing.
So I mean, in Toplife's position, you're definitely gonna check the right side because you're just straight up there. Titos did not have the option, so for Topplife, that makes sense. The more tricky question will certainly be left side swamp.
I feel like for Topplife to come out on top in this one, he needs to do one of those checks that Titos didn't and/or couldn't do, and then and have one of the Castle Tower spells has to be here. Now Titos is going ahead and checking this small key. You have to check this small key because it is a small key. Could be your Castle Tower small key. He's not going to be happy to see it's a desert small key.
The problem for Topplife is Topplife has to identify those checks as or those as the checks that Topplife has to do, which is not easy from a runner's perspective. We always can talk very easily with both perspectives.
Right.
Topplife can only work off their own perspective, which
he has no reason to believe that Titos went to TR without a mirror.
Yeah, or has no guarantee to know that Titos actually went to ice first and then could just single dip the mountain.
Yep.
Like, Topplife might not feel that great about the route because of that double dip pot and then still double dip Mire and stuff. Double dipping the mountain.
There's a Castle Tower small key right there on the torch.
Yeah, so like
26 more checks to find the second one.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, if the second CT key is just up here in GT, then Titos is gonna win this.
Way ahead, yep.
Is not coming back from this. Question will really just be if is it desert left side, desert right side, because if so, then Topplife is in a very prime position to get that. Is it left side swamp, and is Topplife deciding to go there, which I'm not seeing as certain.
Does, yeah. If Topplife can pull the Castle Tower small key before the second one before going into GT, the torch is free. Like his GT will be quick and easy. He won't do any of these checks that Titos is doing, and he probably goes ahead. If, on the other hand, it is not, or he doesn't check it, then Titos will get back to those locations faster, probably. Okay, we are going into desert. Since we're going to the right side, this is the better place to mirror.
Yep.
Gold sword.
Sword.
Okay, that's not a good start for Topplife here over in the right side of desert. Get one more chance. And
not
nothing.
Desert.
Not desert.
So, like, basically the last chances that Topplife pretty much has are left side swamp and red bomb, because Titos did not do red bomb, and Topplife can just easily do that after swamp. So, all in all, basically 4 checks that Topplife is gonna get faster to than Titos is. And if it's none of those, then Titos is most likely getting to wherever the last second Castle Tower key is first. Now, there's still the tile room that Titos could potentially decide to risk and say, nah, it's not
Yep.
gonna be there.
People do that all the time, and sometimes, you know, often pays out because it is a slow check, but it does cost sometimes. I'll tell you one thing neither runner wants to see right now. A book.
I mean, it
Or
would
a
be an
mushroom
interesting
for
one
that
because if you find the mushroom would probably be worse, but if it's the book, you before the time, then you just mirror out and check either tablet.
Book before the climb gives you one check before and one check after.
Book in the climb would be annoying.
Speaking of the mushroom, there it is.
Well, yeah.
You're not checking that before climbing.
No, absolutely not.
Also, whether you plan on doing the tile room or not, you do these 4 checks first.
Absolutely.
So we'll see whether Titos does tile room or not in a second.
So, checks for Titos after this are pretty much set in stone. There's a key to Hera.
Hera. Oh, that's a gross one. Do you check it?
Probably.
Do you check it?
You...
Titos says no. Okay, we're
Okay.
skipping Hera basement. We're skipping tile room.
Now this does give Topplife a different out aside from left side or red bomb.
It's gonna go to the back first. That makes sense. Go
Yeah, I mean-
go -2. You go to the back first. Go -1. You go to the back first.
I mean, go -1 definitely. Go -2.
Yeah, I could. You
My
could argue.
point to Topplife, probably intending to skip left side.
You know, it's funny. It's funny every time you see a small key as a runner, you get excited, and then when you see it's not the one you're looking for, your heart just sinks a little bit more.
Yeah. Although I think by this point there's really not much more keys left. We do know of the other.
See,
no,
I think we are there.
Topplife has
GT
everything
smalls?
before except for one.
Yeah, we're
GT
missing
small
one GT
and
small. Yeah,
one
I think
GT.
that's all we're missing.
Now, question is, if Titos does not find the castle tower key here in the climb, where does Titos go next?
Oh gosh. Well, I often say I would go Pyramid Ferry first because it's right near the pyramid.
Probably.
I'll tell you what, my last location is probably that Turtle Rock lava chest / mimic cave.
Is it though? Because Mimic Cave, sure, I would agree. But given where the last TR small key was, you know that the
Topplife not doing
opponent-
it. Okay,
Yeah.
well that's
You-
really bad for Topplife. He needed to get that. He
Title.
needed to go and get that castle tower key out of wherever it is. Obviously, if it's on the climb, it wouldn't have mattered.
Like, I think for Topplife it pretty much has to be Tile now. I think
Tile
everything
room
else
or
is
a mirror to check
lost
Hera
color.
basement.
Yeah, Hera basement too, right? That one is an option. Like the thing for Titos is
Yeah,
okay,
there's that
book.
book.
Now
Ooh,
this
that's
is
so
one more
gross.
reason for Titos maybe to go back to the mountain. You still do red bomb
Yeah.
first. You can now do Bombos tablet before that. But yeah, again, given where that last TR key was, it's extremely likely your opponent also orphaned that check. So like you do have enough reason to go back up the mountain, and then there's still tire room and harrow basement that you could go back to,
Or
and
you
there's
can just find it on Moldworm 2. Wow.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. Thanks, game.
All that speculating that we had to do was completely irrelevant. Because,
Topplife is out of outs.
Yep. Now, I mean, Topplife could pull a ballsy move here and just fight the first key on the left side and say, well, I'm gonna lose anyway, and just go straight up to the climb. That would put Topplife in a position where it's just a GT climb behind, but Topplife is starting on the right side, so already some time lost in that scenario anyway.
But even if you make that call, he's still an entire climb behind. So.
Yeah, that would still require Titos to at least fail on the Ganon fight 2 times with an equipment of
Gold sword,
17 hearts.
Let's see it.
We don't have silvers, and we
never
still
found
on
silvers.
blue mail, so if
how do we not have silvers? Like, we've seen almost every check in the game, and we don't have silvers.
Yeah. I mean, there's the second chest and castle tower that we haven't seen that we could maybe check. You probably don't, but if you want to look for silvers, you could.
It's not that far out of the way. I could see checking it. I could see not checking it.
But, I mean, like, we are on a silverless fight currently, so like, there is a world where Titos forgets how to play this game and potentially gets pushed off.
I don't
but
see it. Okay,
Topplife
Titos
is
is gonna
not
skip
climbing,
it.
so like, there's basically no chance whatsoever anymore.
Yeah.
Like, now Titos would have to fail 4 or 5 times on Ganon.
Oh,
and,
more than that,
like,
and that's not happening.
Like, once can happen if you maybe get too eager.
And anybody can fail once. Like, I don't care how good you are. Things can happen, but like, you're not failing twice. You're not failing 3 times. It's not gonna happen. Gold Sword is gonna make the first 3 phases really fast and get plenty of magic for the last phase.
Oh, there's red mail. So Titos was on blue mail. So yeah, even less chance to mess up.
Yeah. Yeah, the jump between no mail and blue mail is much more significant than the jump between
blue and red. Yeah.
Blue mail and red. And sadly, I don't get my cool blue Yoshi. Red Yoshi's okay, but I like blue Yoshi best. Titos is going to be done with this castle tower fight before Topplife even starts climbing.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, he might even be. I think Topplife starts climbing before the Ganon fight's over, but not by much.
Yeah, probably, given that we are still on silverless. And if we get a lot of blue balls, then that also will take a bit more time. And like, Ice Arbors isn't too long of a fight. So yeah, Topplife will certainly. Depends on tile room. But, Topplife
Topplife might still do tile room, might still check that Hera basement. Like, there's other
true.
Other things he could do.
Yeah, if Topplife does those 2, then Titos might finish before Topplife gets to the climb. If Topplife just starts the climb after Ice Armors, then Titos won't be done with Ganon before that. Especially with the amount of blue balls that's apparently happening. I haven't counted, but that was at least 3.
It was a lot.
It's not gonna be 15 because we have now seen 2 that are not blue balls. But since the fight's still not done, that has There have been a lot.
Now here's the tile play for Topplife.
Yeah. Like, what's what Topplife needed to do, but the key is not in here, so...
Yep.
So that's the first two phases done. Just going for the safe lamp strat to avoid to activate torch glitch. And Tyrone apparently was not silver, so
It was not.
we will find out very soon. They might have been.
Left side swamp, error basement.
Left side swamp it is. Now towards fire rods, setting up the triples. Missed that one. Too bad though. We do have mark magic, so no worries.
He's got at least a green bottle as well. Like he's got so much magic right now.
Position for another triple, and then should after this triple only be one spin left. Yeah, should getting that. They're scanning down, don't walk too far up. Everything's safe. Sword gets hold up. Bridge will be crossed.
Alright, and Titos will finish with an official race time of 1:41:23. Get those GGs in chat for those that haven't already. And that will give him a 1-game-to-none lead in this best of 3.
GG.
Alright, let's see if we can get our runners in. Here we go. We got one of our runners, Titos. GG's.
Hello, GG's.
GG.
How nervous were you before that last castle tower small key?
I was very nervous because I think I didn't touch any of the mirror checks besides swamp. And
That's true.
maybe if you go early for pot, you without a bow, so should be no problem. Maybe you find something behind this mirror, and this was the worst situation in my thoughts.
And we do also have Topplife joining us, who does forfeit a little bit, I think, in a minute or two. GGCU. Yeah, and we had Book and Mushroom in the climb too, just to make things more complicated. Yeah, I think it kind of came down to Titos had a single mountain dip, got the hookshot a little bit later. We thought the hookshot was gonna be huge because you got it relatively early, given its location. But then it caused you to double dip the mountain for TR, and Titos, you got it.
Kind of triple dip because I thought I had a mirror when I was climbing. So
yeah,
the dark
that's
world
right.
first was
Yep. That's true. Yeah. It looked like you'd made him. That was not intentional to go into the dark world first. There's your castle tower small. You kind of need at that point. You kind of need the castle tower small to be somewhere dumb, and for you to get it before getting to GT, since the other one was so freely available on the torch, but just didn't work out that way.
Well, it was like the items where I found them. It's like, yeah, this could be really bad for me, but it also could be kind of good. So I was like in the middle of if it was really bad for me, then I was like, yeah, I should be a little bit more thorough to look for a castle tower. But if it was good for me, then I ended up doing sort of middle of the road.
Yeah, and it was funny because there were several checks that Titos missed because he just didn't have the items: Ice Palace, Big Chest, and Mimic Cave in particular. And again, nothing being in those locations just didn't help you out.
Yeah, the Ice Palace Big Chest was just a huge mistake. I don't know how I just overlooked the Ice Palace.
This was the one on the desert ledge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Didn't
had
even
it.
pick this up.
I mean, I had so few checks left, and I was like, yeah, either it's in pod or it was like was one other dumb location. But yeah, there's 6 checks in Ice Palace. I totally failed to see it. And when I picked up the Ice Palace Big Key, I was like, oh.
I should go to Vice. Oh, I got it. So you're saying you should have just done it earlier before getting the big key. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, before the redip Skullwoods and Catfish and all that thing.
Yep.
That was definitely one of the other big noticeable differences where Titos pretty much immediately went to ice once it became fully clearable without the big key. Having that quake on the mountain and then getting the hookshot after that, and even the dip into mire before that,
well, the mire dip was required too. So
yeah, so Titos just made pretty much all the right decisions in the mid game. Like aside from that hookshot, maybe, but yeah, getting that later apparently helped.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't hard required mirrorless smiths, but like, I don't think anyone's dipping pod. So that early was like 0 keys. I think yeah, like maybe you had 1 key. I don't remember. It was not a lot of keys, and no bow. So
it was kind of easy smith setup without the mirror though. So.
Yep.
I think mirror was my go mode besides the smalls, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that sounds right. Because you all, I mean, we were missing a bunch of keys when you all got into like item go mode.
Yeah. Like we knew about the mirror quite a bit earlier than you had it, Titos, because Topplife then at some point did go over to pod, having that bow, having at least 2 pod keys. I want to say 3 yet? No,
Yeah, that's another.
there.
Yeah, that's another double
both
dip.
were hookshot locked.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, that's another double dip. So yeah, it's a rough situation.
Yeah. The Eastern big key was in this town that you could do after Tiaria. So basically everything led you to like one smooth route into like basically get mirror last after you got everything else. That's true.
Yeah, none of those optional checks ended. I think the most relevant optional check, like the Thieves Town Big Chest had your 6th pod spell, I think it was, which so logically required, but like none of the stuff in those locations ended up being relevant to actually finishing the seed.
Yeah, that was the huge pointer for me, that something was either in pod or on pedestal. Everything just, when I got the 6 pod key, there just has to be something really dependent.
Yep. Well, this was game 1. Do we know what we're playing for game 2?
Yes, we know. Next one will be an open seat.
Oh, okay. So game 2 open. That'll be cool. Obviously, Topplife, you'll have to win the game 1 to force a cross hunt game 3. But
yeah, or I can lose and keep my perfect cross hunt score.
Are you by perfect by mean win them all?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, looking forward to seeing when that pops up on the schedule. Any thoughts about it?
That is set for Friday, same time.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So in 3 days, 12 p.m. Eastern, an open seat will be done.
Nice. Okay. Well, we'll look forward to that. good luck to both of you on that. Anything else either one of you wants to add before we go ahead and close this out?
Yeah, thanks at the crew for the restream. Appreciate that, and looking forward for the next match.
Yep, same for me.
All right. Thank you to you both. Good luck in the next race, and whichever one of you moves forward. Next race on the schedule right here on this channel, we have at 4 o'clock, we have P-Train versus Malxanthalos. At 5:40, we have, and that'll also, we have a lot of AD keys tonight. That's an AD keys. 5:40, we have Homemade Beer versus Zaphakil, also AD keys. 8 o'clock, we have a cross hunt, Average Frustrated Gamer versus Moogle Charm. At 8:40, we have another cross hunt, Jesse versus Dixon. And at 9 o'clock, 9:10, we have another cross hunt. So this is like 80 keys, 80 keys, 80 keys, cross hunt, cross hunt, cross hunt. That one will be Maximum Barnage versus Flip Heel. That one does not have a channel yet. The others being SpeedGaming 2 and then the 840 on SpeedGaming 3. Hopefully you will all tune in for those races, and we hope to see you there. In the meantime, we had Naren Deutsch on the tracking. I don't think we shouted him out, but huge shout outs. Trackers always are MVPs. And Raylan, it was a pleasure doing the call with you.
Yeah, same for me here. Look forward to the next races. Like if you wanna assist with commentary or tracking, there's still availabilities to get you in here and do some clicking or do some talking. We always appreciate more assistance. But yeah, I think that should be everything here. See you next time.